Va, Va salute. This is Troy Pacelli of Last Call, and I'm just here to let you know that the following live stream is rated R for adult language, highly inappropriate jokes, and oh, who the are we kidding? We have no idea what is going to come out of Gorilla's mouth. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Waltons review. Where it's been a couple weeks, and we're doing it on oddball time here, but we're finally getting to it. This the season 3, episode 11, The Job. With me, I got Resolute Germ. How are you doing?
Not too bad. How you doing, Gorilla?
Little irritated, to be honest. You know the site where I get the opening thing off, the prelogue or whatever you'll call it.
Prologue.
That I always read,
The
the prologue
prologue,
there before I read it. That site's down.
Really?
Whoa. Wow.
Yeah.
That's no good.
And I'm doing just yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I'm doing just fine. Yep.
Yeah. If we get any more rain, I'm gonna have to go buy a kayak here.
Oh,
It's gonna be a bad crop season because every field is flooded.
man.
But Mike,
wow.
how are you doing?
They're great. Don't forget, everyone. After we're done here, we'll wait a few minutes and then we'll do my review of Star Trek: The Motionless Picture.
Oh, you mean Star
According to
Trek
Resolute
shipborne
Germ.
picture? You mean Star Trek
Yeah.
ship picture? And PvP,
Yeah,
how are
the
you
ship
doing?
picture, yeah.
Oh, not too bad. Not too bad. Got up. I got my tea here, and that's
Yeah.
a bit unusual doing a Waltons this early in the day. But hey, it worked out because unfortunately I had one of those days yesterday, and I got back so late. So I messaged you, Gorilla, and
Oh yeah, and
you
I
were
had
nice enough to move it to this morning. So
I had plans or else because there's no way I didn't want to push everything back 45 minutes. But
yeah,
I heard you got traumatized the other day. Like you traumatized me with on someone's stream
traumatized.
with yeah, something about you had to watch a couple guys taking it up the ass or something on someone's stream.
Oh, well, there was a porn bomb stream last night. Mikey was on there too.
Yeah.
We were on what was it? Trusty Apes channel,
Trusty Ape,
Oh,
Kevin.
and some guy he let some guy we didn't know him on the stream towards after, I think about an hour and a half in or something.
Oh,
Was it
yeah.
Mikey? And
Yeah.
this guy seemed perfectly fine and perfectly normal for like I don't know a few minutes at least. He seemed okay, and then all of a sudden we get this gay porn throwing on the screen. And I was like, oh shit, here we go.
Yeah, we got porn bombed, and I was like,
Yeah.
holy fuck.
So Trusty Ape
warn him?
ended the stream.
Didn't you warn him
Oh, totally.
Yeah, of course we warned him. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Here
I
was
told him,
PvP begging for him to like stop, and Kevin is just wasn't paying attention. And I'm even one of his best friends, and I told him, look, dude, take this guy off now. Don't even let him on. And
Yeah.
he let him on, and I was like, holy fuck, man. Okay.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
shit.
I even told him about what happened to you like 2 months ago when your channel got porn bombed that
And
time,
to Germ. Yeah, I mean,
Right,
even I
Gorilla?
told him that what happened to Germ too. And I was
I
like,
said,
holy
Why?
these guys are very
everything-
slick, right? They're very good at being liars, and then they get a little bit of your trust, and then whammo,
Well, Jer's was more understandable. One of mine is I thought I did, but that's why we got different rules. But anyhow, enough of that. People don't want to hear about that. They want to hear what,
Yeah, I know
what kind
That's
of
true. Yeah, I guess, yeah. But oh well.
Let's get to this great episode, which is what I said
Trauma.
in the chat. So
Trauma
yeah.
over.
All right, I did find the prologue, but I still gotta find the epilogue here.
Whoops.
As
Ah,
a family
Jesus.
living on Waltons Mountain during the 30s, we were largely self-sufficient and had little dependence on cash money. Still, as I venture out into the larger world, I realized that making ends meet was going to be a far greater problem than I had anticipated. I set about looking for a part-time job, one which would pay me an adequate wage and at the same time not interfere too much with my studies. All right. So we got Well, Job's gonna be reading to a blind gal. Now, there's a difference between being upset and resent your disability there, but then there's just being a bitch. Just saying. Just saying. We'll find that out in this episode.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just throwing that out there. He was being a bitch. Yeah, so get the pine. One thing I wanted to play on this here. Listen to the background music on this. I'm just gonna play a little bit.
Family living on Waltons Mountain during the 30s, we were largely self-sufficient.
It's like a slightly like ominous music that they had playing during this. It's just slightly ominous. I don't know if you guys picked that up.
It did sound a little off in some way for
It's
the
a little bit
Waltons.
slow.
Yeah.
You want me to
Yeah.
say this?
And
Hey, Taylor Swift, greater than Disney, Star Wars, and Marvel Cinematic Universe, and Doctor Who.
the MCU
What's up, man?
and apparently we're getting a bunch of screaming dragons or snakes or something.
I
Oh,
love
no,
those
we tried
emojis. They're so cool. Yeah.
We traumatized him already.
Oh God. Yeah.
Apparently.
Boy.
So anyhow, they're working on the car. Yeah. I don't know what the heck that piece they're working on. That his car wouldn't start.
Oh, Gorilla. By the way, can I mention the person who directed this episode was Ivan Dixon, the guy from Hogan's Heroes, the black man. He's the one who directed this episode.
Oh, okay.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
unusual.
I know nothing. I see nothing. All right, so Mary Ellen's just reading out loud for some damn reason. Well, John and John Boy are trying to concentrate on whatever this piece is that they're trying to fix. Man, it must be nice being able to work on your own damn cars there and being able to fix the actual parts in the car. Nowadays it's almost impossible.
Yeah, well, cars were a lot simpler back in those days. I would think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also
And
think
too much
that she's doing a lot more
proprietary
reading
technology
than
in there
she's
now.
used to. Yeah. Yeah,
What was
because
that, Jeremy?
remember, yeah. Well, I was going to say, because if you remember from the book, the one that we recently did, the way that Judy Norton explained it was from that particular episode, Mary Ellen starts to develop a lot more awareness because of John Boy's previous book, and so now she wants to learn more. So as this episode progresses, I won't say much more, but she really wants to learn. So yeah, it's a sidebar story to the Ruth and John Boy's job. So
Yeah. Oh, she's developing all right, but
you wouldn't say that. Oh my God!
I was just saying about
Gorilla.
working on cars. There's a lot of proprietary technology in there now.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for the boys.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
so it's a note. Basically, just want to read it. And John Boy just goes,
Just woman in the world. If you must know, it's for a part-time.
yeah. So he's getting a part-time job, going to read some and let's see how much 250 is in today's money.
In gas money, right?
Oh, there you go.
Or
No,
repairs.
no,
Or
no,
repairs.
no. There's 1935. No, not 25. 35.
25.
I got it.
Yeah, they're old. Yeah, it's good to see you, Taylor Swift. Even though I may not like the singer, it's good to see you, Matt G. So, just saying.
Let's say if it was 35 here. Just calculate. So basically, it cost him $50 to fix that part.
Huh.
Really? Wow. In today's money?
Yeah,
Doesn't
that's
seem like a lot, though.
That's like nothing.
Yeah, no, that doesn't seem like anything, really.
It cost them $50 just to pick up the phone. What are you talking? Where are they smoking?
Well,
Well, that's
we
the part.
are
The
talking
labor's
about
not
night.
calculated.
Yeah.
really paying
and
for
we
is
are
the
talking-
labor.
Right, we are
$75
talking.
to $100 an hour.
Sorry, Resolute. Sorry about that. Yeah, no, we're also talking about 1970s writers, so a lot of them were on weed and stuff anyway. So whatever.
Hey, wait, no, Mikey. Get your history right. It was cocaine and LSD.
Ah, you're right. And then they smoked on the side.
Bring cocaine back to the writing room, people. Come on. Come on. We need cocaine back in the writing room.
Oh my God. Okay.
We got to start a petition to bring cocaine back to the writing room. Okay. And Grandma starts yelling.
Oh, thank you, Grandma.
Don't put them there.
Hey, Grandma, don't forget your arm.
Melt the cheese and the bread will curl up like cardboard.
And I like how he just calm down, Grandma. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Grandma. But he says it politely. I just caught that out with his hand movement there. He's like, he's giving that, I'm
She's
sorry,
old
Grandma.
I'm just saying, if you had trapped your arms in there, John Boy would have dragged her halfway down the road or something.
Yeah, but if I would have said something like that there, I would have got knocked up and I used that hand movement, I would have got knocked upside the head. Because that's that almost looks like the disrespectful hand movement of, all right, calm down, you old lady. But I'm sorry. But he's playing saying, sorry, Grandma, I'm sorry, but he's using the hand gesture of calm down, old lady.
Yes, it's like don't get uppity on me there, Grandma.
Oh man.
Go settle down.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys got the same vibe from that hand movement, but
oh yeah.
Oh no, I got the
John Boy was definitely in a hurry. I got that feeling for sure.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. So he has there, and you got this beautiful house here next to this shithole here right next to it.
That's one of those.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Now this is according to Judy Norton. This is one of those houses, neighborhoods that are on the lot itself. So he's just going down one of those, Warner Brothers, right? Yeah, Warner Brothers lot streets. She had a specific name for it. Damn it, I just forgot what the name was. It was like a McKelvin Street or something like that. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. But this was a beautiful house that they have there. You can tell they have money because they have their name right out front and stoned, engraved in stone and everything.
Yeah, really.
And I mean, look at the jockey statue out in front of the house too.
Oh, we'll have to go. He knocks on that door, but then he goes to a different door,
right?
And she just starts yelling. And this give a hint of how much of a At first, I didn't. Wait, no. If I read the thing, I would know she's blind. But and she just yells at him for being patient, and he just wants to be the first one there. Now, one of the things people say is never show up to an interview, or it's like a job posting to get interviewed for a job posting. Don't show up too early. You want to show up just on time. That's one of the things I've heard.
Early.
But that is the craziest job interview outfit I've ever seen on a person. I gotta say, just for the 1930s, right? But wow.
Yeah, it's not the best jacket in the world, is it?
Oh, for sure not. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't actually go with the pants, but oh well.
Yeah, well, hey, they weren't fashion coordinated back then. Obviously.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, Gemma, he's all being pleasing. She's being a bitch. She goes, the job was arranged by my mother. She obviously thinks I need some help and some counseling. The first 40 minutes of this, she annoyed the living shit out of me because I know you had to have some kind of drama, but they just made her out to be a complete bitch instead of just someone who's resentful of their condition.
Yeah, I mean, I think they definitely wanted to convey that quite clearly to the audience that she was really, pissed off about being blind and having a
Yeah,
hard time accepting her situation. Which kind
yeah,
of sets up the last part of the episode, though, right? So I can see why the writers did it this way. But yeah, she
yeah.
was kind of
Now,
bitchy.
Yeah.
right now, I
She
did a
just
little
needs a
bit of
good kissing
research.
or a good spanking. Maybe
I'd
both.
spank her. Hell yeah, I wouldn't have a problem with that at all.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
I
would
did a little.
spank her there, PvP.
Hey, she's not a bad looking lady, I mean, I've seen worse,
Yeah. Well, I did a little research. Now, the actress's name is Elaine Heilvel, and she spells it Heil, like you would say, like the Heil mustache man, and then Veil. So, what she had to do for this episode, Keller Foundation, which existed at the time in the 70s, and she had to immerse herself with some of the blind men and women that work in the foundation to get to this point to where she would, learn about their senses, your other senses besides since you can't see. And she also spoke to some women who went through scarlet fever and lost their sight. And that's what Ruth did, the Ruth character. She based it on a woman who's lost her sight. And now she's like, shut in. She's basically saying, I hate the world. Look what it did to me, blah, blah, blah. So I think she did a really great performance as actress. And she's done other things. But I mean, for her at this time in the 70s, very good performance. Yeah.
Yeah, I liked her performance too. I thought she definitely did capture, what somebody being blind would be, because she was really good at playing a blind person for sure.
Yeah, she
'Cause
did. She did a great job.
I had a grandfather that was blind for like the last 10 years of his life, right? So I'm familiar with blind people, and she portrayed it very well, I thought. So yeah, she was really
Yeah.
good in the role,
And
definitely.
I can't really compare it to animals, but Suzanne had a cat named Lucky. He was a black cat. And for like the last 5 years, he was completely blind. Like he lost his sight
Oh
and he
yeah,
couldn't get around very well. And yeah, and I mean, Suzanne, who is, I practically consider her an angel, okay? Saved my life. I mean, saved Lucky's life. He got to live his last 5 years in happy, didn't have to worry about things. She was always there for him. When he finally passed, I cried because I mean, like, I only got to know him for like, less than a year, a couple months. And I mean, he was so brave, and it just, you feel for people like that. I knew a few kids in school that were either partly blind or suffering. And even one of them was my favorite classmates. I went to school, classes with, and I know what they went through, and I always was there to help them. And they said, "Wow, it's like a lot of people don't really care about me because they think I'm less than I am." No, this guy that I was helping was smart as hell. I mean, he really couldn't call him a genius, but he was very intelligent. So I was like, he didn't let his malady, affect him
yeah. Well,
as much
people
as Ruth
do.
does in this. Yeah,
People do tend to judge at times when somebody's got a disability, unfortunately.
yeah.
Which I kind of got why she was so resentful. Well, that's why I think she didn't want to go out in the world anymore, because she didn't want to have people judging her or giving her pity
Hey, Eric.
and all that kind of stuff. Like she just didn't want that, right? So
Yeah.
it made
And
sense.
hey there, yeah. Hey there, Eric. Welcome.
Welcome.
All right, so going on.
Hey again, Eric.
And she went to Gorgon's. I thought I heard Kroger when she came in.
I thought it was Gorgon when I first heard it. Like the monster Gorgon. No, but it's Grogan's. Okay.
Grogan's.
Okay.
Okay.
No, but I swore I heard Kroger.
Kroger. I don't know if Kroger existed back then. Yeah.
Now, just the blouse that
Well, let's go back here.
It's entirely her idea, not mine.
Oh, I see. Well, then I'll probably be speaking with her about it.
Ruth?
All right, I got paused it here, but I swear it said Kroger.
Ruth, I was in Grogan's. I found just the blouse that.
Yeah. Okay. I now heard it a little bit differently. Grokers. It didn't come off very well. So.
Yeah, that's better than what I heard. I heard Krogan's.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes the subtitles here might have an error in them because that does occasionally happen, right? No, sometimes they'll get a
It's happened
word
to us.
completely wrong.
Yeah,
So
it's
it
happened to
could
us
be.
more than enough times where we see where the dialogue, what they're saying, what they have here posted in closed captioning is not always accurate. It's
Yeah, it can
not
definitely
quite
be
there.
off at times. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
In
The Rogans, yeah, Arabic, yeah, right. Yeah, we were
Yeah.
talking about early bird of prey thing here. Yeah, that's it.
Kroger. So apparently that store sells orphan minors.
Right.
Orphan miners and orphan miner related products.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where Bert gets all his orphan minors from.
Yeah.
Rush off
You
the
never
bus.
know. They could have had an honor dispensary unknown to most people. I don't know. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. She's Irene Thomas, blah, blah. Right here.
Mother, why all the secrecy? I think I should be allowed to hear what you and Mr. Walton have to say.
Now, if I would have talked to my parents about that, they wouldn't give a shit if I was blind or not. I would have gotten smacked upside the fucking head for talking back like that. In that tone.
Now, my mother would have came over and smacked her on the bum.
No.
My
We'd be
sisters.
we would have been past smacking on the ass. Seriously, I would have talked to my parents like that. I would have gotten an ass whooping.
Oh wow! Even for
No,
minor
you would've-
infraction like that. Jeez.
You would have got the threats at that point. It had been you're already down to 4 sentences. You want to make it 3.
But Mikey, I remember my parents considered rolling your eyes talking back.
Yeah.
So,
but rolling the eyes, well, according to my parents, rolling the eyes was the first warning. And I was just a minor threat. That was a minor infraction. But then if you really went nuts and started even cussing out, oh yeah, you were doomed. At that point, you might as well ask for hurt. Pain.
We didn't get warnings. We got, and we didn't get timeouts either. We got times ups.
Well, your parents were harsher than mine, then, Gorilla.
Yeah, Mike or Eric says yes, a Kroganite. Oh, and out of date spam.
Out of date spam. Yeah.
I didn't even think spam would go out of date. It's like all it is preservatives. It's not even meat. It's pervert.
Yeah, right. I never knew that spam had an expiration date. I thought it didn't, but hey, I learn new things every day.
Because it's like 99% preservatives and 1% meat.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and you have no idea where that other 99% is because it's everything.
It'll still be good, but everything has a shelf life. They will not let it go over 5 years.
And don't forget, Eric, Monty Python has a great skit about spam.
Yeah, I was just
you ever check it out? It's on YouTube. It's available. So go there and
just thinking of the spam.
Somebody spam.
That's a good one.
I can still sing
Python.
That. Yep, good old Python. Yeah, go ahead, Gorilla. I'm sorry.
Yes, of course. I certainly didn't mean to exclude you, Ruth.
Please, yes, you did.
Yeah, no, but that's one of those. Her mother's letting her get away with this shit.
Yeah, well, mother's kind of coddling her because she's still trying to deal with her blindness, I guess. and we do find out shortly here that she lost her husband too. So that kind of plays into the dynamic between them, right? So, they're both kind of damaged in a way. I mean, the mother's kind of damaged too, I think.
Oh man, what? So you got job read 2 times a week, books, whatever job feels like.
I wouldn't mind getting paid to read. That'd be all right.
Yeah, I have to feel this is a
Please,
very
fine.
sad mother and daughter relationship. But it's not. I mean, it's fixable, but at this point, you're like, you're thinking these two are pretty much hopeless, and no wonder the mother needs John Boyd help. I mean,
Yeah, I think the
If
mother
for
just
any other
wants
reason to help the daughter out, it's just a thing. But
the mother just wants to figure out some way to get her daughter back on track and not being a recluse, right? I think that's what the mother's concerned about is,
exactly
her
right,
daughter's going to waste her entire life just hiding in the house.
right.
All right.
Tell you is that you're to come here twice a week to read to me.
Wow, she's
As
so
you can see,
demanding.
Mr. Walton,
Damn.
I'm blind.
See, she just has that resentful bitterness there.
Oh yeah.
It kind of drives on you.
Well, like you said,
blah,
she
blah,
had
blah.
to do a lot of like I said, she had to do a lot of research. Talk personally with some women that had to go through this, and they go through it, and they went through it every single day like this, and they had to encourage those kind of the kind of blind people to become pillars of the community, in society, and to integrate themselves into relationships, and they have to work on it, and it takes a lot of courage, believe me. I mean, what Ruth goes through here is nothing compared to what others go through every single day that they can't see. It's scary, very scary.
Yeah. So anyhow, you find out the lost brother there. Then there's apparently two others, but Ruth, being a bitch, drove them away. And she never leaves the house. She maybe goes to the garden, blah blah blah. John Boy's gonna think about it, and here they're torturing the poor dog. Someone should call it.
Yeah, this is her period where she's trying to mend people and animals. She wants to be a doctor or a veterinarian or something. It's weird what she does.
It's not just the dog. She's roped the dog into it.
Now my parents. Now, if I wasted this much bandages or toilet paper and all that, oh man, I would have gotten an ass whooping for this.
That's John. Yeah, that's John Walmsley's character, right? He's on the so-called gurney or table or bench or whatever, and he's like all covered up. The poor thing.
Is that Jim Bob? I think they said. Was it Jim Bob?
Yeah, that's Jim Bob under there. But
Jim Bob, he's on there. Yeah,
I thought that was hilarious.
So if we sat there and wasted that much bandages, my parents would have gotten pissed because like, hey, if you're gonna waste that much shit, you're gonna start buying it.
Especially during the Depression, like I was kind of surprised they were wasting so much.
Right.
But I thought this scene was hilarious. Poor Jim Bob, he's just like wrapped up like a freaking mummy here. That's pretty good.
Oh, poor guy. Yeah.
I don't know how
that
he can
stuff
breathe.
is still good. All you have to do is roll it back up and put it right back in the bathroom.
All right. So anyhow, Rex had broken because apparently she waited until the last week to do all this shit. All her practicing her rappings for her nursing class and all that. Rex apparently had broken paw. It started out with a bullet hole in the shoulder. Then it goes. Then they each got to pick an injury, and apparently he can't breathe. There. So on the table. And
Pardon there, Esther. I like a little more of this piccalilli relish of yours.
You've had enough of that. You know how spicy things keep you awake half the night.
Yeah, well, that's that little girl.
Damn you, Grandma!
That's why I married you, you spicy thing, you.
That was good.
But I cannot see.
Grandpa's being naughty here, like talking about keeping him awake at night. Like, well, okay. He's not talking about food.
Yeah, I swear to God, if he talks about rumble seat, I'm like, crap, no.
That's such a good scene. Oh, Will Gear is so good.
Well, you don't want to hear about Grandma and Grandpa banging in the bed there?
That's still a great moment. Come on.
Will Gear was very good at it. Will Gear was very good at the comedy, though, throwing in a little zinger like that quite often in an episode. So he's such a good actor. Like I know I'm really going to miss him in a few more seasons when he's no longer, with us. But he was so good in this show.
Oh yeah, he was. Hello, Sifdan.
Hi, Sifdan.
And hey, Sifdan, how's it going? And say hello to all on the panel.
Hey, Dan.
Yeah, Sifdan's cool.
So anyhow, they talk about it there, blah blah blah, and Mary Ellen's so bad. She must be bad. I didn't catch that she got up right away.
I came back
or what she was doing.
She didn't want me there in
But nobody knows. She doesn't want her in there in the first place.
the first place.
You sure she means it, son?
But you know what's
It's
great about
possible
this
she doesn't know what
episode
she wants.
also is the fact that Judy Norton, of course, playing Mary Ellen. She said that this was one of her favorites because she was actually able to help John Boy along with Ruth to help in his in the job that he's doing, reading for her and stuff. And I think it's also Mary Ellen, not only just John Boy himself, but also Mary Ellen that in a way helps convince Ruth that it's better to be out there in the world and to be able to contribute what you can with your other senses, to use those other four senses besides, knowing you can't see. And you'll find that later. But I mean, it's very cool. That was the other reason I loved it, because Judy was so involved that I was like, wow, okay.
Yeah, this is how,
go ahead, girl.
And that's how I know the asteroid's coming, because Mary Ellen was actually I didn't want to fucking slap her this episode.
Yeah, well, I can understand why Judy Norton would really like this episode, in hindsight, because Mary Ellen for once gets to actually do something in the episode that actually.
Oh my God, she gets to act,
right? but she actually gets to be a thoughtful person in this episode instead of just being her, what she used to be, her little bitchy self in most episodes up till now, right?
No, she grew up.
She's getting to the adult point now where she's starting to be more thoughtful, right? I think in large part due to John Boy's influence, but I could.
Well, she does tell him so later on. She does tell him later on as a hint. So yeah.
But I think that's probably why she remembers this episode fondly, is because she actually got to do, something instead of just being, the stereotypical bitchy sister, which she often was, right? So, that's one aspect I like. Yeah. And I got to say, Judy's starting to look pretty good here. I got to say, she's starting to look pretty good. She's getting to that age where, everything's coming together, so to speak. And, not a bad looking lady.
Yeah, even she said that when she'd walk on set, because they had already done 3 seasons right up to this, or at least midway through the 3rd season, and she's walking on set, and she even got a few whistles from people. I said, well, that doesn't surprise me, woman. You were starting to fill out really nicely, and not only that, but your attitude changed for the better, because you were always considered mean and nasty, but then for some reason, this was like her coming of age episode, which is kind of cool. And I was like, wow. So yeah, because I always liked Judy Norton. I always liked her. So yeah.
Yeah, she was becoming a more interesting character with episodes like this.
Oh, down the line, as we keep going into episodes here, you're going to start seeing, Judy Norton's Mary Ellen mature even more and more. And actually, at one point, I think she even eclipses John Boy's overall demeanor. So we'll see. But anyway.
Well, John Boy does. Richard Thomas did leave at a certain point, right? I'm not sure how many seasons we still have with John Boy in the show, but I know in a few more seasons, he exits at a certain point. So then, of course, the other cast has got to, sort of fill that gap, right?
They got to step it up, and Mary Ellen does a wonderful. Judy Norton, of course, does a wonderful job. So yeah.
All right.
Go ahead, Gorilla. Okay, go ahead.
No, so this is what Mary Ellen does. She puts the blindfold on.
In her situation, I could understand that. I sure do need the money.
This is really mature that
Mary Ellen, take that thing off.
Good Lord.
And here's where she gets the shit beat out of her dessert.
She dropped some great pie there, man. Damn it.
Pie.
That poor pie. I know.
Oh, too bad I
Even
don't have
Judy
Cap to
herself
play
said
for
she
that.
laughed when it happened. They had to go through a few takes because sometimes it would land on her shoes. Other times it would land, pieces of it would fly over into the table. They're all sitting. So they had to do a
Wow.
few takes for this. Yeah, just crazy. Just crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, so they yelled at her, take it off, blah, blah, blah. He goes, it must be just terrible, terrible, be blind, blah, blah, blah. And here's where she's actually.
Why is that job so important to you?
John Boy, do you know what I do when I get very lonely and I don't feel like talking to anybody?
No?
Well, I read a book, and it's because of you.
Are you sure it's because of
Well,
him?
that is a damn lie. She does not just sit alone and read a book. She goes off and bitches to everyone she can find.
Well, I was gonna say, she reads a book because of him. No, maybe because there's nothing else to fucking do around, or except maybe go for a walk in the woods away from everybody.
It's Resolute Germ. Is that like blasphemy on her part with the family? Like, no, you say that's not true.
Yeah, she may sit and read when she's waiting for somebody to come bitch to, but that's just killing time before she can do what she really wants.
Jesus. Oh, that poor Miller. Poor Judy. Oh, man. Poor Barry Allen. Yeah. That's all right. We're only in the third season. We have to wait till it gets longer, and then she starts to turn out to be a better person. So we'll wait for that. But yeah, I mean, she's starting. This is like her crossover, her coming of age, I guess I would say.
Because of the way you love them. And you taught us all that the world is in books, and that they make you less lonely. I think that Ruth must be the loneliest person in the world.
Oh, she's got that right.
I just like the way the eye movement that they used to do in the shows. You don't get that anymore. That's the one thing
you really don't. Yeah, you're right. You really don't, because it's hard. And Richard Thomas here is so genuine. I mean, you can tell when you look at his face and the way he's contemplating, should I help this woman? She's so ungrateful, but yet she's suffering from such a terrible of being blind. I mean, and it wasn't her fault, it was the scarlet fever, partly.
No, it was her fault. Maybe she should have gotten the scarlet fever.
Well, man, come on.
Like she had a choice. Yeah, good one, Gorilla.
Yeah.
But I agree what you're saying about the level of the acting here. Like Richard Thomas, when I watched this scene, it wasn't even like he was acting. It was like it was real. Like he's so good at the playing out the scene here that I didn't think, oh, here's an actor, acting. Here's an actor emoting for the audience. Here's an actor
Emoting.
playing
Exactly.
to
Good
the
call,
camera.
PvP. Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
But no, it's just like, this is John Boy. This is a real, a thing. I mean, he's just such a good actor. And yeah, I think there was a higher level back in those days generally. Because, I mean, a lot of TV now, it's like, I don't know. So, well, I think it's the writing too. I mean, there's such cardboard characters they put out there now. I don't think the best actor in the world can save some of those stories. So,
definitely not. And it's the way that most actors and actresses are walking on sets nowadays. It's not like they don't even care. It's like, oh, I just need my paycheck. Hey, that's all right. It's like, I mean, this, yeah. It's sad. Sad state of affairs.
Well, actors were paid a lot less back in those days too, right? In the 60s and 70s. They weren't
of course they did. But this was great TV. And don't forget, most of them came from Shakespearean backgrounds. I mean, come on, Shatner came from Shakespearean company, and Richard Thomas did Broadway before this. So, I mean, as a young man, so it's, great stuff.
There's actually, I think, somewhere CBC videos of some of the Shakespearean stuff that Shatner did on CBC television up in Canada here before he moved down to the US to, get famous. But, Shatner definitely was classically trained for sure. So,
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure.
All right.
I'm sorry. Keep going there. We don't want to delay you there, Mr. Gorilla.
Like me to read to her.
I think she'd like anything you choose. Thanks.
All right. And for some reason, so anyhow, he'll go there and something about it's weird with him being there studying, blah blah blah. Now, what were you talking about? Was out front? Are you talking about the little statue there behind his car?
Yeah, that's a jockey statue. That's what they used to have out in front of those, the places where they used to race dogs or horses. You know, it's like Turf Paradise. They had one of those out in front back when I was living in Phoenix, Arizona. They had two of them right outside. Um, the Kentucky Derby has those kind of jockey statues, and I just thought it was unique. I'd just seen one of these, in front of Ruth's house. I
Well,
just thought, wow,
I think it was kind of
yeah.
a status thing too, because I remember, well-to-do people would have these in their front lawn at
Oh
times.
yeah.
Because I
Well, then
actually
yeah.
I had relatives, Mikey, that actually had one of those in front of their house.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah,
Oh
that's
yeah,
cool. I
like
love it.
they lived up in Kamloops, a couple hours away
Well,
from
I know
here.
where Kamloops is. Yeah, I used
Yeah,
to do
and they
hotel
had
reservations there. So
and they had
yeah,
a big swimming pool, and I went and visited them when I
yeah,
was in my teens. My parents, right, drove up there,
wow,
and we spent the weekend at their place, and they had this huge swimming pool, and all fenced in, all gated in, nice big
nice.
house, and they did have the little jockey in the front yard.
Yeah, it's
I
cute.
do remember.
Well, as long as it's a jockey in front and not a jock strap, I guess we're good.
Yeah, definitely. No, the jock strap is on the lower rent district, I think.
Yeah, it's in the it's
Gorilla,
tied to the mailbox. Somebody just forgot it.
There you go.
There's my dog strap. Yeah. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
All right. So, they're about the Brooks. Hope she'll enjoy them. Blah blah blah. Charlie leaves the house in the garden. Oh, that's where we learned that she had scarlet fever, which I don't even know what the fuck scarlet fever even really is.
It really doesn't exist anymore.
Well, it's scarlet fever works on certain parts of the body that are like vulnerable. In Ruth's case, it was her eyes. It was like the retinas. It was like all the lens, everything. When the scarlet fever affected her ability to see, it did an overall terrible. It just completely eliminated any chance. It's like putting a whole big black veil over your face, and then you can't even see, like even through the veil. So that's how badly the fever hit her. And when she recovered from the fever, somehow she couldn't see anymore, and it happens. I mean, it's terrible.
Scarlet fever is pretty much just strep throat. It's a bacterial illness. It's a bacterial illness that mainly affects children, typically between the ages of 5 and 15. It's caused by Group A streptococcal, whatever the fuck, infection, which is a type of bacteria that can cause strep throat or streptococcal, whatever the fuck, skin infections.
Yeah.
Complicated. If left untreated, it causes kidney disease, rheumatic fever, whatever the fuck that is, and arthritis. And the way it's spread. Yeah, basically.
Yeah, and I was going to say they filmed this on 2 different stages. So when you see the outside stage, that's the the street and everything there. But when they film interiors, that's on the other stage. So that was stage 20 with the exteriors, and then stage 26 was in the interiors. So they did 2 different spots there. So I just wanted to make sure I threw that in also.
Alrighty. And she's coming to terms with and apparently Ruth and
and then we get the info about the father here.
Yeah. Oh,
So
yeah.
I think the reason, well, because the mother does mention she was planning to go to take training at the blind school or whatever, and continue on with her life. Even though being blind did hit her hard, she was still going to, make the best of it. And then her father dies a few months later, and that was like the double whammy that just sent her over the edge,
Oh yeah, that was the double
right?
blow that, and it's been rough. I mean, for both of them, obviously, you can see her,
Oh yeah,
the
you can
mother's
tell the mother
demeanor.
is suffering
Yeah,
too because she's lost her husband, right? So,
yes, yeah,
they're basically a couple of people that are really struggling with their lives at this point, and that's why I think the mother did a really good thing by reaching out to someone to come and read and try and get her daughter, back on track in any tiny way possible, right? Is what the mother intends here, I think. So,
yeah. It
yeah, I
was to
think,
get her interested in life again. Instead of just
yeah,
being shut away from the world, she wants her to come out and enjoy the world. I mean, there are ways. I mean, later on, Mary Ellen just describes briefly to Ruth how she can enjoy the world with the other four senses she has that she
hmm
doesn't even know about. And yeah, but I'll wait till we see that. But yeah,
yeah,
it's great. I mean, I love it. Yeah.
yeah. I'm just gonna go get some tea, guys. I just put the kettle on to boil again. I'll be back in a minute.
All
Yeah,
right.
I'm just drinking Pepsi Zero Sugar.
Ah, yeah, I should boot you from the panel just for that.
Oh no, you wouldn't
All
do
right.
that.
All right. So yeah,
Now I know Pepsi is a
yeah.
pretty heavy crime.
Oh, I can forget the Pepsi part. It's the zero sugar part.
Hey, that's okay. When you get up there, sometimes sugar doesn't agree with you too much.
Well, and I have diabetes. I can't drink a sugar drink like that anymore. It's terrible. I miss that wonderful sugary, Coke or Pepsi or anything it's just I miss it. I do.
I'll
It's
give it up
terrible.
altogether instead of drinking that diet crap.
Well, it's that or just drink pure water, which is okay, but it's whatever.
Hey, you got to get that caffeine fix somehow.
Somehow. Yeah. You're right. You're right,
It
Rosie.
doesn't matter if it's Coke, Pepsi, coffee, or if you just ground it up and snort it. You got to get that
I don't do
caffeine
that though. I don't do that. Jeez.
Oh. All right. So, where were we?
She just
So,
seemed to shrink away from everything.
Yeah, blah blah blah. And here comes Ruth, and she goes hit. So she's gonna read blah blah blah. She picks poetry, and he's gonna read from Tennyson.
Ooh,
blah blah
nice.
blah. And here they're wandering through the woods here, and we get this here.
Yeah, and Elizabeth almost gets suicidal here a couple times.
Get down off.
No, she's just playing on that, but
Give me your hand.
Well, yeah, I don't understand why she does
You
that.
do
Why?
that again, and I'm going to spank your behind.
Yay! Tell him, John
I don't care
Walmsley.
how far you got. You know you're not supposed to do it unless Ben or Mary Ellen or me is holding onto your hand.
What's so bad about
Oh,
it?
What's so bad about it? There's about an 80-foot drop from the bridge to the water.
it's not that. I think I've gone with a more realistic number.
Yeah, you can,
Why?
you
She
can tell
doesn't know the
Elizabeth.
difference
You
between
can
80
tell
feet
by
and 80 inches.
by Elizabeth's expression here, girl. You can kind of tell she's not taking what he said too seriously, right? She's like, yeah,
Oh
right.
no, she's Gorilla. If I may, she's basically saying "F you, John" or whatever. Jim Bob. F you, Jim Bob. I'm gonna do whatever I want and climb on the damn thing. So yeah,
That is Jason.
That's Jason, isn't it? Yeah.
Okay, Jason. Whatever. It's like F you, Jason.
There's too many damn kids. We get them all mixed up.
I do. I get them mixed up all the freaking time. I'm still learning them. Jeez, give me a break. I got three more seasons to learn. Six more seasons. So I'll get them all by that time.
That is a very kid-like thing, though, that Elizabeth does here. I mean, I could see a kid doing
Oh
that.
man. No, my youngest used to do it. Our youngest sister, Elizabeth, who was also called Elizabeth, would do things like this.
Oh,
And
yeah.
my mother said, "You better hold her hand. You better watch after her," because I was the oldest of 4 kids. So like I had to keep an eye on this, my youngest sister, because if I didn't, she'd fall and hurt herself or do some weird thing, and then I get blamed for it. So
Oh, that's not
I
good.
totally understand why Jason is saying this.
I can
It's
see why
because
he's
like,
ticked off. Yeah.
yeah,
But he just wants to
that's
keep
right.
her safe, of course. I mean, he's just being a
Oh, of
good brother,
course, right.
But if she as a kid is like, yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't
She's
care.
basically the third sub story because you got John
Well,
Boy is concerned about his job. Ruth is blind and wants to try to learn about herself and no longer become a shut-in. And then, of course, you got this little side story with Elizabeth.
the thing is,
Wow.
Elizabeth, too, this is foreshadowing to the events at the end of the episode that actually
Yes, of course. Yes.
have a large impact on the episode overall.
Oh,
So,
huge.
you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So actually, Elizabeth's, her little bit part here. I mean, she's not doing much in this episode, but what she does do is very significant to the overall episode. So it's kind of nice that she actually got to do something. I mean, it was nice to see some of the kids getting into the storyline here.
Yeah, getting involved.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that's Jason who's telling her off, and then that's Jim Bob behind him, right? Is that, am I right in saying
That's
that?
Ben.
Ben. Oh God.
Yeah,
See?
it's
I'm telling you, that's
Jason.
why that's why I value you guys' information, because you've been doing this for a while and I gotta learn all these guys again. Like,
Well,
all
it's like
the boys and girls.
Jason's the oldest brother.
Yeah.
And Ben is the middle brother, and Jim Bob is the little tiny baby brother.
Okay.
That's the way
Well,
I try
that's
to
easy enough
remember
to
them. But
remember. Okay.
I do forget their names at times too. I got to
Yeah,
admit.
me too. We're old too.
Yeah,
Whatever.
well, that's just because you reference them as bitch 1, bitch 2, and bitch 3. Probably
the best way to remember them, right, Gorilla? It's B1, B2, B3. Yeah.
You want to play fucking bingo now?
Yeah, bingo. Wait a second, I just got bingo, man. Oh, jeez.
I really gotta come up with a bingo card for her Waltons reviews.
We really do, seriously.
Yeah, the freebie is that whenever we have an unknown come onto the freebie spot will be whenever someone unknown comes onto the scene there, I just refer to him as an asshole.
Oh man, so funny. Anyway, to proceed.
So bad about it.
Yeah, a tidal wave will come and wash you away, and you'll get eaten by a gigantic whale.
And you'll be known to everyone as Elizabeth Jonah Walton.
Oh, so we finally learned her middle name. I think this is the first time we learned someone's middle name.
I believe that was a joke.
Oh,
now that's Jonah is the joke. It's
Jonah and the whale.
Never mind. See,
Jonah and the whale. Yeah, that's a joke.
Yeah. Jonah and the whale. Like, they really think that Drusilla's pond is going to swallow up Elizabeth if she falls. It falls into the pond. I mean, come on.
Well, you got to scare her somehow.
Yeah,
I guess so. Yeah, you're right, for sure.
Get your books, honey.
And they just leave there. Blah blah blah. And,
If I could time teleport back then, I'd probably tell Elizabeth, hey, if you fall into that pond, there's something called flesh-eating bacteria. You don't want them to deal with that. And that would probably scare the shit out of her. And then she'd be like, okay, I will go down there. I promise. Yeah.
Okay, did anybody else notice that the scene got kind of blurry for some reason?
Did you think they're using like a soft focus lens to make her look a little more attractive? Is that what could be happening here?
No, it
Because I
just
know
seems
they
like
used to do that. They used to do that on some shows back then with female characters, right?
Yeah.
No, I don't think
Sort of
that.
do
She's
that
pretty
little-
enough on her own without it, but for some reason, it seems like it got blurry on the scene here.
You're right. I did not notice that when I was watching it last night.
Yeah,
but
I did not have that on mine.
Yeah,
It's just
now
a one
here's
scene for like 30 seconds. And then we got our stock footage right here, birds.
Oh, of course. But
Yeah.
this is a great scene because Mary Ellen is trying to comprehend how Ruth's world would be with trying to use her other senses, her other four senses. And I think that's really eloquent. I mean, just the way that Mary Ellen is like trying to put herself in the same position as Ruth is currently. And I think it means a lot, not only to the fact that she's able to, she's still struggling. Even she would realize that Ruth struggles every day. But if she could use her other four senses, and she's going to encourage Ruth eventually. We'll see that. But yeah, I mean, this is great. I love this. Yeah.
All right. I'll be right back here. You guys continue going on.
Okay.
All right, Gorilla.
Yeah, Mary Ellen was becoming a thoughtful person, heading to be an adult at this point. She's actually starting to think about other
Took her
people
long
instead
enough.
of herself, because she was generally quite selfish in the early episodes, right? So she definitely
she was,
developed as a character.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
selfish. But as like I said, as Judy Norton said herself, this was her crossover. This is where she had to start realizing, hey, you know what? I can't be this selfish person anymore. I have to be more. I have to be useful to the family in some ways, and I think that she's definitely starting to follow John Boy's example because he's so compassionate. He's caring, he's thoughtful, and she's like, you know what? I can be like my brother and probably be even better than him eventually. In helping others and taking care of people, and she's starting to learn. I mean, it's great. I love this. To me, this was like a coming out party for her as much as it was for. Yeah.
All right, I'm back.
Judy Norton, as an actress too, Judy Norton has to step up her game from now on, right? Because the character is becoming more complex, so she's going to have to, put more into the performance.
All right.
Yeah, she's. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's searching the creek there, and then she comes across this rock here, and it immediately goes to Jabba. Blah blah blah. Yeah, and then she's turned into a bitch there. There again. And she tells him to get out Fridays next time he'll be here. And now I will say, the parents are awfully trusting of these kids. They're letting them hit a ball towards the house.
Yes.
You're just asking for a broken window.
Yeah, even though it's a softball.
You're saying that softball can't break a window? Do I have to come prove
I'm
you wrong?
saying again, Gorilla. I didn't say that. I said if they're playing softball,
Gorilla's going to head up there,
doing.
Mikey. He's going to head up to your building there, Mikey, and throw a softball.
Yeah, right. It can. Yeah, softball is just as bad as a baseball. So yes.
Yeah, and I guess it would cost a few dollars to replace a window too, wouldn't it, back then? So.
No, absolutely.
10 cents.
Well, still, that's money, right? So
it's money. Yeah, unless you're a magician or a wizard, and you can actually, produce a window for free using your hands or something.
So basically, oh no, that can't be right. $2 for a pane of glass.
Yeah, that's what it is now, right? I mean, close to. Yeah.
No, like if I want to get my windows fixed here, it costs me $26 a pane.
Oh wow, 26. Damn.
Does that include labor charges, though, Gorilla?
Yeah, yes. Labor charges. Yeah, fees.
Because labor's what kills you. I mean, the parts, like an auto. When I take my car in to get repaired, I mean, the part can be, it can be, significant money, but it's the labor that really kills you.
Yeah. Well, my hands aren't steady enough for that tiny little triangle thing and for the caulking. My hands aren't steady enough for it.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you saying your hands aren't steady when you're caulking?
Oh, they're steady enough for that.
There's a joke there somewhere, but oh well.
Yeah, but Judy Norton did say she got to pitch to one of the other girls, in the family, and the girl played by the actress Cammie Cutler, she actually hit the pitch that Judy threw to her. So,
Well, that's
away
Elizabeth
from the
then.
house. So, yeah, I mean, it's just, pretty cool. I mean, just even back then having, softball or like a baseball game right out in front of the house. But
I
luckily for them,
imagine,
they didn't
yeah.
get it. So,
Well, I mean, they did have to go through the motions of doing real stuff during the episodes, different
yeah, they
episodes,
did.
right? So
Yeah,
they must
totally.
have had a,
Yep.
they must have had a lot of fun. I'm thinking actually filming some of these
Oh
scenes.
my gosh, yeah,
You know,
it was just camaraderie on the set, which from day one, because they realized they're a family, so they had
yeah.
to when they went through rehearsals, they treated it just like it was a family, at the table, having arguments and respected, but being respectful and
Yeah.
of each other's
Well, yeah.
space, and being able to talk to one another.
Well, it
So
makes the
yeah,
job a lot easier, doesn't it? I mean, if you've got
oh,
this
of course,
large ensemble cast here that's gotta work together and getting along, in real life definitely makes the job a lot easier. You know.
yeah. I'll tell you, if there are any family dramas that are out there right now, they are no way, not even close, coming to Waltons. The way that Waltons presented such great TV with a family like that,
Yeah,
there's
I
no
mean,
one that even comes close.
I
No
can't
one.
think of another show that's just basically it's basically a drama. There's no, ray guns, there's no monsters, there's no stuff that, that I might generally watch, those kind of genres. This is just basic family drama stuff. And it's just so well written and so well acted that it just, pretty much most episodes pull me right in. And I just really
Yeah.
enjoy it. And that's pretty rare, because I'm not generally like a general drama person necessarily, you know, because there's a lot of shows like what was that other show, Family, and other shows back in
Wow.
that time, you
Yeah.
know, Little House, which I did not like that show at all. I found it too sugary.
Yeah.
So
Way
I'm
too
not,
sugary.
yeah, so I don't always go for drama, but Walton's is just such a good exception to that. It's so well done. And I
Oh
love the
man.
recreation of the era too, right? Like the
Yeah.
detail
Of course.
they get in this show.
Oh, and the gorilla Oiler Greg says you need a drink. Stat.
Hey, welcome, Walter Greg. Girl, I got the shakes. Quickly get him a drink.
Uh
Hello, man. Night, John Boy. Night, Gorilla. Oh, you should see the ending. The good night they had this week. It was really good.
Oh yeah, it was a good one. One of the best.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very
it was
good.
really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, they were talking about an old family member who had an accident on a horse-drawn carriage there because something spooked the horses there, and she basically made everybody feel bad for her and do everything for her there, and until she eventually became a bitch and nobody was sad when she died. Basically, like that.
Yeah, that
So
can
he's
happen.
just basically from experience, huh? Yeah.
And Mary Ellen comes out.
Did you do something for me?
Oh, what?
You promise you won't think it's stupid?
Mary Ellen, what is it?
Well, when you see Ruth this afternoon, would you give her this?
No, I gotta say that's a nice rock there. That's a very nice rock.
Oh yeah, it's very smooth. I mean, just beautiful gift. Even like I mean, for someone that can't see it, but I mean to feel it, it's part of the other four senses. That's what she's doing this for a reason. Mary Ellen is. I'm just so proud. I'm so glad I watched this episode because I was just like very proud of how Judy Norton was just building the character, being able to allow her to expand and not be so selfish, and just and have a better, and John Boy is a great influence. He really is. I mean, he's given her the opportunity to shine, and yeah, that's great. So
let's see. Other Greg says my truck gets spooked by heavy traffic. Well, what I consider heavy
That's
traffic
awesome.
is 4 cars stuck behind a tractor.
I think it would get spooked by like those, huge, tractor trailer, the tractor trailer car, trucks, or like the big, 4-wheelers or 16-wheelers.
A semi.
A semi, thank you. Yes,
Yeah,
semi.
I try and avoid the main highway that goes through the city here because there's a lot
Right?
of semis going down there, and I just don't like driving by semis. Like, man, you do not want to have an accident with a semi. That's for sure.
They're
Hey,
not so
PvP.
bad. All you got to do is drive right underneath one. Try to pull a Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
I don't think that would work in real life so well,
Or
though. But
or PvP, or like Pet Cemetery with the kid getting hit by the semi and all that stuff. Oh man.
yeah,
Woo! Yeah, even down country roads, man. Scary
yeah,
shit.
traffic is so bad on the main highway here anyway.
Oh man.
Because it's like gridlock a lot of days, right? It's just
It gets very scary around here. If you don't want to try to cross any of the streets where we live up here in Toronto, you just don't want to cross them without at least going by the light. I mean, you really
yeah,
have to follow the crossing laws here, because if you try anything like what do they call it? If you go jaywalking, oh yeah, you're dead. I mean,
yeah. I
I don't
wouldn't.
care who you are, you won't make it. Yeah.
Traffic's pretty heavy in Toronto, isn't it? From everything I've ever
Very,
heard.
very
So
heavy. But as you get into the
yeah,
suburbs now, it's getting worse too. Like,
is it okay?
Suzanne and I are suburbs, and I mean, it just gets worse. Yeah, every
Yeah,
day.
All right, let's get back on
Hey,
track.
if they can
yeah.
hit you and still kill you, the traffic wasn't that bad. It's bad when it's bumper to bumper and you can walk freely among them, flipping off the drivers left and right as you make better time than them.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, you're welcome, Oiler Greg. Pet Cemetery.
I
Yeah.
guess you could call it a token of friendship. Spent a long time down by the creek the other afternoon. I wanted to find just the right one.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's real smooth.
Close your eyes and feel it. Go on.
So basically, she found a stone for a blind woman.
Yes.
Yeah, she picked the stone due to the way it felt in her hand, not the way it looked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll become very handy when she throws it at John Boy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thing you want.
How does it feel?
Bird
So
or a
smooth?
fish. Run your thumb along the groove
Ooh.
on the side. Feels like the bowl of a
Yeah.
teaspoon.
You're right.
Now, I mean, that's a cool looking rock. I have to say, it's a cool looking
Well,
stone.
it's been polished by many, 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 many years of the water running over it, right? So
Out the
it is
pond,
pretty
yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. And right here, we'll show that they're back to being Alabaman.
You don't think it's stupid, do you?
No, I don't. I think it's wonderful, and I'm sure she'll appreciate it.
Right on the lips. Right on the lips.
Aw, it's so adorable. Aw, and that was legitimate too. Oh,
Yeah, if you're from Alabama.
oh gosh. Jeez,
Uh,
Carla. It's not like they're having incest in the home. Come on now.
Hey,
Jeez.
there's
Besides,
nothing
that's
wrong.
not really his sister, so it's all
Yeah.
okay.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with this. That's just keep it in the family.
Keep it in the family. Good night,
that's
John Boy.
that's the very
Good
definition.
night,
Is it not?
Elizabeth.
I think you get the very definition of incest there, girl. Keep it in the family.
Oh my
Oh
God.
God.
Oh man.
Oh, that's
We are sick.
wow.
Oh,
Is that
geez.
what is that? That's like a bird cage or something almost. That's
No, it's decoration. It's like a gazebo decoration.
It's an arch. It's a decorative arch. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's surrounded by a few, palms and a few other, olive trees and things. So yeah.
pretty fancy room here, though. Wow, pretty fancy.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Man, it took them it took the guys that do the set decoration. It took them almost over a week to decorate all this like this, to painstakingly detailed, like this.
All right.
So did this-
I totally get it. I understand.
Did this put them behind time wise then? Because usually they want to
No,
film an
no, no.
episode
They still
within a
were
week, don't
able to get it on time. It's just they were okay. The way that Judy described it, I don't want to go into too much detail, but the way she described it was they were working on the set still, but were able to keep the voice. The sounds of the work to a minimum, so it would seem like it was. It seemed like the scene would just flow, just kind of like go as they're still putting things down and laying things down. So that's why it's so, they were still able to keep it within the time schedule and budget. They just kept going from room to room. And that's how, that's why they use two sound stages, to
Right.
keep this being built on and the other one outside, you know.
Yeah, so they could film on one stage while they were doing construction on the second stage, is what you're saying,
right.
kind of thing.
All right, so let's see, where were we? Wow, Canada sounds as dangerous as the road next to the pet cemetery.
It's very busy. The traffic here is really bad, actually, because there's a couple of side roads that I use that have less traffic than the main highway, but they're still really busy. Like, it's gotten worse over the years. It's gotten definitely much worse over the years. The traffic, it's getting pretty heavy here, even
Yeah.
on Sunday, which used to be a good day to go and do chores on Sunday, because it's the less cars on Sunday, obviously, on the road. But even now, it's getting to the point where even Sunday driving is getting to be a pain in the butt around here. So yeah, fact of life, unfortunately, I guess. Bloody traffic.
All right, and all the Greg says, "LL, me and Mike had the same thought about pet cemetery. Cheers." And Canadians mostly drive back roads to avoid dangerous semi trucks, mostly.
I do go to on the main highway once in a while, but not too often.
And Sid that says, Mikey, are you still doing your stream at 3 p.m. your time, if I'm correct, or are you going to reschedule it a little bit later?
I'm just leaving it as 3, and I wanted to enjoy this with you guys before going into it. So if it starts late, it's no big deal to me. I'm cool with it. It's still scheduled the way it is, and I can just walk right into it and do it. So it's no worries. That's what I told him. I said, yeah, it's going to be a little late, but that's okay. I'm all right. No worries. I mean, we are talking about a terrible, the first Star Trek film. As Germ described it, motionless picture and kind of crazy,
Star
trip. So, yeah.
Star Trek, the ship porn picture?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And there'll be a little date, Dan, right after the review here. It's all queued up.
Yeah. That's ready.
It was up until 6 a.m. on a stream raising money to keep someone from getting evicted. And we did it. Kind of tired, though. At least you got your goal.
Yeah, good for you.
Yeah, you met the goal, Greg, which is awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, being a good Samaritan there, helping somebody not get evicted. That's pretty cool.
And I know that Tony Stark of Iron said he was able to help Suzanne Eckstein with her situation. So, yeah, that's great. I love that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyhow, you got here. How many gave
Told you that the importance of being earnest.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah.
Tell you too. You read very well.
I'll be right back.
Thank you. I imagine I've had a lot of practice reading to my brothers and sisters while they were growing.
Well, yeah, I suppose John Boy would be the one designated to read to everybody there.
Yeah. This is the point where she's starting to actually come out of her shell a bit with John Boy. She's starting to warm up to him as a person. Like, you can tell her personality is starting to shift here a little bit, which is I think this is quite a nice scene. For a moment here, you get the feeling she's actually starting to think about the bigger world outside again a little bit because of John Boy's influence.
Yeah, but then this happens.
Yeah, I was gonna wait till it happens here.
Well,
Yeah.
there's 3 brothers and 3 sisters, and mom and daddy, of course, and my grandma and my grandpa. We all sit down together at the table. There's a whole bunch of us, and it's very noisy too.
Where do you live?
Waltons Mountain.
I think that area, that rural, everybody would know the area around them, especially within 30 miles.
Well, rich people, they might not, go out to where the Hicks live too often. So, just saying.
Yeah, but still.
They kind of get pretty insular, though, when a family's got as much money as these folks appear to have, I'm guessing. But, yeah.
This isn't the Midwest. There's probably a lot of stuff within 30 miles of them. There may be probably 10,000 people within 30 miles of you. Even back then in Virginia, there's probably about 500,000.
Well, I mean, they're always talking about Charlottesville and those towns, right? So.
Well, in Jefferson County, there's 400 people. So
I believe they got out of Jefferson County.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good, Gorilla. I just moved up the time frame on my thing, so just a little bit, not a lot. So we're good. We're doing fine.
All right. We're almost done. We only have 3 hours left on this thing.
Yeah, sure, right.
we're actually legitly halfway.
Yeah, we are. We're halfway.
Seconds. No, literally, it's 12. We're 27 minutes and 8 seconds in. There's 27 minutes and 23 seconds left.
Yeah, so we're halfway. Yeah.
It's a very small place, about 28 miles from here. Just a Baptist church, a Methodist church, and a store.
All right, we are at the legit halfway point right here.
Okay.
And here's where she knows how. Here, very important. She actually remembers this Ike Godsey's store.
Godsey's, that's where we do our shopping and pick up our mail and use the telephone.
I've never heard of it.
I'm not surprised.
Oh, yeah, blah, blah, blah.
I love his reaction there where he said, I'm not surprised, and he's kind of laughing. I hope he's not laughing at the whole situation, but maybe that was just improvised, I guess. Yeah,
I thought they were a lot closer to the thing than they were to the one I wanted to show.
Right.
All right. So, yeah, anyhow, they want to meet them all. He invites her over. He invites them all, and she doesn't want to do it. But, here.
That's all.
Would they?
Especially my sister, Mary Ellen. This reminds me, she wanted me to give you this. She said it was sort of a token of friendship. It's just a pebble, that's all. She found it in the creek by the house. She said she took a lot of time just to find the right one, the one she thought felt the most interesting.
I kind of like how John Boy still does her gestures, even though she can't see his gestures.
Well, a lot of people talk with their hands. People talk with their hands, though, right, Gorilla? So
yeah,
I think it's just something people do without even thinking about it. Actually,
Well, I like to think that Richard Thomas himself probably wanted to improvise a lot of gestures and attitude the way he's acting, because he knows how Ruth is so. I mean, he's getting a better understanding, which is kind of ironic because Mary Ellen has basically told him in a certain way, from a point of view, that she's she's afraid. She doesn't want to get out there in the world and try to experience it. And so Mary Ellen basically has told John Boy, let her feel her way. And I guess in a way, that's what the stone was meant to do, was help her feel that, to experience it in her mind and say, well, wow, it must be a good place to be, and so that's just my thought on that. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah, and then of course she takes it the wrong way, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's where the ugliness rears its ugly head. Yeah.
How appropriate.
What do you mean?
A stone! For someone who's stone blind!
Oh my God.
That would have been great. That would have been the best scene ever. She will chucked it and got him right upside the head.
Yeah, unfortunately, if John Boy wasn't so nice and so helpful, he'd probably just take that, the big picture frame behind her and smash it over her head, just to wake her up.
Well,
something.
John Boy does kind of tell her off here, though, in a second.
Oh, yeah, he does, yeah.
And that kind of snaps her out of it, I think. Starts the process to turn her around, because finally somebody's standing up to her and saying, look, you're screwing your life up, whether you want to hear this or not. I'm going to tell you.
Oh, you're great.
Look here, you're just being a bitch.
Yeah.
But politely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. I moved it up a bit there, Dan. And goes, no, you know what I to get everyone for Christmas? Interesting pebbles. I think I might get a similar reaction. Only they'll be able to see you and get chucked upside the head for that.
Yeah, could you put little lights on my pebble there, Oil and Greg? I know you're coming from Texas, so maybe you could just throw on a little of those oil lights or something for my pebble.
But he'll smother it in oil for you.
Yeah, there we go. Just put it in a little bowl, just kind of seal it, put in a few pebbles. Hey, no big deal. And oil. Wow, Texas oil man. Yay. Yeah, definitely cool.
Yeah.
Ruth, I want to tell you one thing. My sister took a lot of care to find something for you that she thought would have a special meaning.
Oh, special meaning? You mean something to remind me that I'm blind?
No, Ruth, no. You don't need anything to remind you. You remind yourself. Every day that you spend locked in here away from the world, refusing to go out, you remind yourself that you're blind every day of your life.
Oh, yes, I do.
Oh, yes, you do. And every unkind, harsh word that you utter is just a plea for pity.
He has a point. He's saying
totally.
a lot more politely than I would. I would just call her a bitch.
Well, that's the thing. He comes just this short of just basically saying you're a bitch, fuck you, and go away. Basically. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that really, but yeah, in a way, that's how he's feeling right now. But he's holding back a little bit. I mean, I have to give it to him. Yeah. If I was her situation, I'd probably smack her and say, "Yeah, screw you, I'm out of here," and that would have been it. So.
We gotta swear on the Mikey. Yeah, I'm rubbing off on it. Yeah, take your drinks, folks. We gotta cuss out of Mikey.
Yeah, you did.
Actually, two of them technically.
Well, I hope you don't get knocked off for that. I'm sorry, okay?
Mikey!
It's okay. It's okay. It's just cussing.
Yeah.
Hey, Mikey, have you heard half the shit that comes off our mouth?
Yeah. Well, that's why Ray Pacelli made that disclaimer.
We're on at least 4 different lists already. I think cussing is the least of the problems.
Yeah.
Yes, I think so.
Oh. All right.
Yeah,
When
that's
I
a
first took
keeper.
this job, I thought maybe I could help you, but I see I can't do that either.
Dude, that's John Boy's problem. He thinks he can help everybody there, but he just can't. Some people are beyond help.
No, that's John Boy's character, though. He's just a compassionate person that tries. Even if he doesn't succeed, he's going to make the effort. Most of the time.
He's gonna give his darndest, and if the person doesn't want to listen, well, okay, I can move on to other people.
And that's what's happening in this scene, right? John Boy's he's hit the breaking point here, and he's saying, "Oh, enough of this crap," and he's packing up his books and he leaves. And then she's got to sit there and think about what just happened, which I think is where her character starts to shift a bit. She actually does start to realize that maybe what he said has some truth to it.
And Oily Greg, I think that Oily Greg just said perfectly. He says he hurts her more with the truth than with profanity. I do that myself if I don't just ignore the insult. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. If he just swore at her, that probably wouldn't have had as much of an impact as just telling her, straight up that, she's just being stupid, basically, with what she's doing with her life.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes people just need a different type of help. He always tries to be the goody two shoes and help them positively. Sometimes they just need a smack on the ass and to be set straight.
Yeah, but Jordan, did you get a knife thrown at you for that?
That's a whole different story.
Oh, okay.
The knife is beyond the point.
Okay.
Besides, she went wide right.
Yeah. Now, see, in my case, some people are saying to me, if I ever said that to Suzanne can come at me with a cast iron pan and can knock me upside the head, for acting stupid. I said, well, I hope that day never comes because I don't want to be hit upside the head by anything, much less a cast iron pan.
Oh, it don't hurt that much.
Oh well, I don't know because I've never experienced it yet,
The
Gorilla. But I
voice,
really don't want to experience it. Thank you
the
very
voice
much.
of experience there, eh, Gorilla?
Yeah, Gorilla's been knocked around a few times. I can tell. That's why he's so brave.
Yeah.
It's like, really?
Oh boy.
All right.
Yeah, I just paid you a compliment, Gorilla.
Oh, Ruth. If my sister's gift was tactless or wrong, I'm sorry. But I assure you, it wasn't intended to be.
John!
Bobo John. John, come
Oh,
back,
come
damn it.
on! He could have done a way better door slam than that. Like, they should have had
Not
that
with
whole.
that construction. They were rushing to get all this stuff done. He slammed that any harder, half the set may come down.
Best episode ever.
Yeah. I know she can't see that portrait, but the portrait itself I think it's quite beautiful. Just seeing would you agree there, PvP, with a leaf and everything? It's beautiful. I like that portrait.
I
That
can't
goes
see.
behind her.
I
Can you
can't
see it
see it.
kind of? Yeah,
Not
it
well
just looks
enough.
like a leaf from a tree or something. It's beautiful. I like it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it is. It's kind of blurry here on my screen.
Oh, okay. Well, I can see it as a leaf. That much I can see. Or
Yeah,
maybe,
I'm not sure. I almost saw it as a figure of some sort.
oh, maybe. John, come back. John, come back. Well, look at these kids. They're going to run in front of him. Whoops. I just tripped a few kids outside. Oh, yeah. See? It's like kind of a leaf. It's beautiful. You see it up more
Oh, yeah,
close.
it is a leaf now. Yeah, it's quite nice, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, it makes sense that it's in the garden, I guess, to have that painting have
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, you're right, Oiler Greg. A rare talent for dodging knife attacks. Yeah.
Hey, it's a
Yeah.
God-given gift.
Yeah, there you go.
you can dodge a knife, you can dodge a ball.
Yeah, there you go.
I wonder how she picks her artwork. She seems too grumpy to ask for help. No, her mom picked it out.
No, her mother picked those out. Yeah, that wasn't her.
And she was
She's too
only
shut in to
been
even
blind.
care.
And
So,
plus, she's only
yeah.
been blind for 4 years.
Really, only 4 years? Wow.
Yeah. So anyhow, blah blah blah. She picks up the stone.
Yeah.
Then she's crying, more crying. Apparently, we got Michael Burnham on the show. Call that cry.
Yeah, and then she gets motivated.
She just gets off the phone, probably trying to call. Blah blah blah. She wants it. Now here's the thing. She wanted to ask her mother a few questions, but we never get to hear the questions. Kind of sad. Then we got some more stock
Oh, it's
footage.
the basic
and
stuff like, am I really a bitch? And mom has to say, yes, dear, you are a bitch.
Here. And here, mom. So here's John. John drive along. He picks up his mom. Blah blah blah. And apparently, apparently there's a phone message left at Ike. It's awfully nice of Ike to get the town's phone calls.
Yeah, I think it's nice how that's delivered to him, and especially by his mother, who's, of course, we know Michael Learned, playing mom is so great. I mean, she's so genuine. I would want her as a mother, to be honest. I would.
Well,
I love my mom, like, and everything. I really do. But yeah, if I had a substitute mom, that would be Michael Learned, because she is so. She's wonderful. I mean, she's just very caring, very conscientious. She really cares about her boys and her girls. I mean, she's just, and her husband. I mean, she's genuine. You won't find people like that nowadays. It's hard. It really is hard just to find good people like that.
Well, I think it's just she just happened to be down in the dikes, or else Ike just went and delivered it by hand. Just put a sign on the door.
Well, that's a good effect too, because she catches John when he's probably at his most uncertain. He has this uncertainty. He's like, okay, should I really continue? Because she really does not care. Ruth is just feeling sorry for herself, wallowing in self pity, and I think this is where Mama Walton comes to him and basically says, look, give her another chance. Try to help her out, because it's good Christian you know attitude, just to try, and I think that's why she's saying this, because she's saying it in a way that is caring. Yeah, so good stuff.
Let's see. Greg says she needs to buy a radio and wait patiently for rock music to be invented.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
In the 70s, she was probably a heavy metal fan.
She probably was. She probably like Led Zeppelin and all those groups. Yeah, for sure. Probably hung out backstage, with some bands. Maybe even with the Damned. Who knows? Their PvP. We don't know for sure.
Yeah, you never know, eh?
Yeah.
She could be.
Sure.
Are you saying she could be a groupie? Like, wow.
Yes.
There's a
Yes.
thought.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, groupies were big back in the 70s, weren't they?
Well, I know that Judy Norton confessed she was part of a groupie, actually. So groupie,
Really?
bunch of people. Yeah. So
Nice.
that doesn't surprise me. Yeah.
That makes her even
sure.
more attractive, knowing she had
Yeah, there
that
we
wild
go.
side. There you go.
Alrighty, so let's keep on going here. So
Yeah, let's
she's coming to Waltons Mountain at noon tomorrow. Blah blah blah. And what the fuck? What the fuck is what was it? Celery salt? What the fuck is celery salt?
Sort of like onion powder.
Yeah, it's similar to onion, but isn't it a bit more solid? Not as granular, right?
Yeah.
Resolute.
It's been a while since I had anything like that, but it's
Same
basically
here.
celery flavored salt.
Yeah, same here.
Okay. So she's making coleslaw. Yeah, they're getting all ready for a big old picnic. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Now, what's it with the blind people always wearing dark sunglasses?
Because they're not
to look attractive. You know what? I never understood that. Why they would have such big glasses like that.
Well, I think they're trying to hide
the control light. It
Yeah.
has nothing to do with hiding anything. They may be not 100% blind, but even if they are, it's still going to have a little bit of stuff coming at them.
Well,
so that just helps keep a blank slate.
Yeah, well, wasn't it Helen Keller when she found out, eventually she had to develop her own special set of bifocals, right? I mean, just to be able to wear them and around the public and everything. I believe that's what she did. Yeah, she created her own set, and she sold glasses to the blind. She actually had her own special line of bifocals for that. So maybe in a way that's probably how Ruth was able to get those kind of glasses, back then, because they did exist. I mean, they were around, you know, and everything. So
yeah, they used stuff like that even back in like the 1800s.
Yeah,
it's just a way to keep random bits of flash from what little specks of vision may flare up.
Yeah, and they look cool. They do. They actually look cool on the face, not monstrous or scary. So yeah.
All right.
But what I read.
So anyhow, they're introduced and they're about to go for a picnic. He introduces them all to the family. Blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. And she basically gives the apologies. Blah blah blah. Then introduces them. Oh.
Oh, it's fun. Yes, I guess you are.
And I guess I'm the largest.
Aww.
Far and the oldest. I'm Esther Walton, John Boy's grandma.
How's it there?
And the old man's my husband.
The old man's my husband. Yeah, he's a dirtbag. Whee!
Shall I escort you to the truck? We are just leaving for a picnic.
Oh, how nice of Grandpa.
Yeah, Grandpa's such a perfect gentleman sometimes. Maybe not all the time, but sometimes he is. When he's not being an a-hole.
I'm surprised the old pervert didn't try to sneak a peek with the blind.
Oh my God, Resolute! Come on.
Well, he does get a
Hey,
little more
it would
friendly.
fit.
He gets
It
a little
would
more
Fit the
fit
friendly.
into his
profile?
character.
Oh yeah, okay. Nasty old man. Sure, it would
He
fit
does
that
get a little
profile.
more friendly with her during the picnic, I believe. Does
Woohoo!
he not? Like,
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, they're sitting there talking. They're blah blah blah, and she talks about how the different calls of the crow or of the woodpecker or something, and she's talking about wanting to be a nurse.
Yeah.
Well, there's really nothing much of this scene. It's not the highlight scene. And they're talking about Walt Whitman, blah blah blah. Grandpa says some profound stuff.
Yeah, Walt Whitman is all about, isn't Walt Whitman a lot about nature's, perfect canopy? Like, it describes things in books about trees and plants and all. Walt Whitman was that way, right? He was a lot about nature, and that's a perfect novel, actually, to read if you're in the forest, in the woods or something. Yeah, it's good novels to read.
All right.
Look how relaxed John Walton is.
And John says, "We better get going, or full as I am, we're gonna get going." Blah 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 blah. It's just a nice, relaxing scene, and a little bit of talking, banter, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And then they're going back to the house, and they're gonna walk back to the house while everybody else takes the truck,
All
And
right.
here's the scene here.
Oh, got it. Now she's going to do what we hoped she wouldn't do.
Well, John Boy's still there, but he has to go back.
Are you cold?
Oh, a little. I guess I left my sweater and purse back there at the picnic place.
Oh, Elizabeth? Honey?
Yeah, that almost reminds me of the Lord of the Rings episode. Don't disturb the water. You never know what'll stir up out there. You might get a big old octopus coming and grabbing you.
Yeah, skipping off the stones. Yeah, I remember that scene.
Where you're at that one.
Will you stay here with Ruth for a minute? I'm gonna go back and fetch your sweater. I'll be right back.
Thank you.
Here's the railing of the bridge right here. There, okay? I'll be right back.
Thank you.
And here's John Boy's big mistake. He left him alone.
Damn it.
Well, must be.
Yeah, I have to
nice
say here,
being
this is where Elizabeth gets
peaceful
stupid.
and quiet. Like
She's like
she's
6 years
crazy
old. She
thing,
is
right?
stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this is a nice little bit back and forth here.
Suppose so. With all those brothers and sisters, there must be something always going on.
Yeah.
Notice
Woohoo.
how now, did you notice that the music just started changing slightly there when
Yeah.
she's
Oh, yeah.
got up on the left? Now all of a sudden we're starting to get more ominous music.
It's your
Yes.
age. I always wanted a brother. Once I even pretended I had one. Harold, I used to call him.
I thought blind people were able to would be able to notice that she's no longer there and listening.
Well, no, remember that Ruth hasn't really been able to use her other senses. So she really isn't knowing that Elizabeth's doing this. Like, Elizabeth's being so, quiet. I mean, and stealth-like, just kind of walking the top of that that way. And obviously Ruth's not akin to it yet. She's not listening, to the nature and everything around her, so she's talking to herself.
Besides, she may hear the creak of the wood, but that's not her natural sound, so she doesn't know what that creak means.
Right.
Okay.
I read it in a book, and Sounded like a good, solid name for a brother of mine to have. Did you ever do that? Make up imaginary friends? Elizabeth, where are you?
I'm doing my dare act.
Oh no.
Dare?
Yeah, I get on the bridge railing. Jason doesn't want me to do it because I think I'll fall.
Elizabeth, get down from there.
It's easy. I do it all the time.
Elizabeth, please get down. Elizabeth, give me your hand.
Wow.
Do you think she would have fallen off if Ruth wasn't distracting her?
It's hard to say. I really not sure if she would have, but I guess this whole scene is about the drama, basically. I think.
Yeah. It does, and like you said, Gorilla, the music is there for dramatic effect, obviously.
Yeah.
But we don't know what happens to Elizabeth yet. So. I mean, now if they say that she's fallen 80 feet, there's obviously got to be a broken bone or something when she hits the bottom.
No, we can already see the bottom.
John!
What if she hit a rock there, Rosie? She can hit her head on it or something.
Elizabeth!
Yeah, at least if she screamed John, everybody started running versus just like John Boy. At least everybody started running.
Yeah.
To see
Well,
what the
there's
hell
a couple
was going
of
on.
Johns, so.
Yeah, that's true, Oiler Greg, but it was just a minor distraction is all she needed to fall. Because she was concentrating. Elizabeth was trying to concentrate, and all she needed was a minor distraction to be distracted and then fall. So that's what happened, basically.
Well, I heard if you need help concentrating, I heard there's a cap for that.
Yeah.
Not
Oh,
quite yet. Give it a couple of years and she can go back east and they'll help her concentrate all she wants.
Yeah, that's... Yeah, didn't they have that guy that did Pratfall's Lloyd, right? The guy that did Daredevil acts like that, or they had like early French guys that were like climbing skyscrapers and stuff back in the 30s. I thought maybe that's how Elizabeth learned by listening on the radio about it or something. Maybe that's how she learned that. Because she called it a dare act. That's short of saying daredevil.
Yeah, or she picked it up from her brothers and sisters.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she could have just done it on her own. Like kids do stuff like that, right? So,
Oh yeah.
it's hard to say if.
Well, I used to do stupid things like that too. My brother and I did dumb things like that. So.
Well, hell yeah. When I think the way I would climb trees when I was a kid, like I'd climb up some trees pretty darn high, like, 20, 30 feet up in the air, right? And if I had slipped, I could have been seriously injured. So,
and Oiler Greg is right about that. So, yeah, Oiler Greg's right about that.
Kids do stuff like that. Well, if you're a kid, you think you're indestructible, right?
Oh, well, back then, sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but this isn't close to 80 feet. The pond level
I know,
is
they were
literally
exaggerating. Yeah, it's what is it, more like 10 feet, 20 feet, maybe?
I guess.
No,
it's like 5 inches between the bottom of the bridge and the water.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see, 80 feet fall would kill or injure most people. No, you'll see it here in a second. Here, I'm gonna play it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they can't do anything right there. Those are endangered now. Those cattails like that.
Yeah.
No, see, she didn't fall that far. She didn't fall that far.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, all right. She didn't. Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Yeah, and lucky she landed face up though. So lucky of her.
Yeah, well, the top of the railing to where she is what, maybe 5 feet, something like that.
Maybe less than 10 feet, maybe. Yeah.
Nah,
that's like 10.
Five
like
generous.
3 feet.
5
3
feet?
feet,
Okay. Maybe. Okay.
Because remember,
So
all the
did she
kids are
suffer a
over the
concussion
railing
or?
except for her.
Yeah, but if she's lying face up like that, does that mean like she suffered a concussion briefly or something? At least.
I don't know.
No, she's mainly
Yeah,
just shocked.
You're lucky she landed face up, or else she would have been probably dead.
Probably. She would have drowned or something. Yeah. I mean, look at Ruth. This is wow. This is just very powerful. Back then, you're going like Ruth. If you're not careful, you might drown yourself because you're blind. You don't know what you're doing. Trying to mess your way through the thrushes and the brushes of that stuff. I mean, oh my gosh, yeah, just scary.
I'll give her props. That Elizabeth there sitting that still. What they do? Promise her a bunch of candy if she sat still long enough.
Yeah. Yes.
No, they just gave her a little bit of cold medicine.
Yeah.
Along
She had to lie there for a little bit.
Drop or two of Grandpa's medicine.
Yeah, there we go. That'll give her a kickstart, right, Resolute?
Yeah, just
an early
nice
form of Viagra. Yeah.
Did you just say give her some Viagra?
I said an early form of Viagra. I don't even know if they used that back then or not.
So your solution to the kid there, sitting still stiff as a board, is give her Viagra.
Yeah, I don't know if that would really work on a woman, would it? On a girl,
No, yeah, maybe not.
It'll stiffen something.
I ain't going there.
It will work on.
No.
Viagra will work on women. It just has prescribed medical effect of lowering the blood pressure very low.
Okay, blood pressure. Okay. I'm telling you, Gorilla, you're seeing me in rare form here. You should be definitely recording all of this.
This is all getting recorded.
Yeah, okay.
I got her!
That's the understatement of the year, Oily Greg.
Sadly, blind people don't make good babysitters. Yeah,
definitely an understatement there. Yeah.
Yeah, well, she's certainly got a nice muddy day here now, boy.
Yeah,
in the creek.
Yeah, they get Elizabeth to wake it up by slapping her. They wake her up by slapping her.
Yeah, we're talking about mom and dad smacking her on either side of her face just to wake her up. You okay, Elizabeth, you moron?
So Ruth runs off, and John Boy chases her.
You feel like yes, I do. You feel like you shouldn't have come here in the first place. You feel like it was all your fault. Like it was stupid for you to come out in the first place. Of course I'm not blind, but I don't have to be blind to know that you have no business throwing your life away like that. It's cowardly to go back to the kind of life that you had before in that house.
Yeah, that she finally shuts the fuck up.
Yeah. Well, I think it's also, again, this is so brave of John Boy to bring her back to reality and say, look, you do not need to go back to the life you previously had. This is something that you need to experience in order to enjoy life to the fullest, even despite your problem. It's said about a lot of people that have to go through life. Hey, I mean, there's people that live, great lives, even though they might have only one limb. The people that fought in wars and came back with just one limb or maybe one arm or, one leg or whatever. But, they continue to live lives, to the full, the best they can. And that's basically what John Boy is telling Ruth right now is like, you do not want to go back to what you were before. You want to be able to experience life as it is.
I'll be right back.
All righty, man.
Yeah, well, the thing is, John Boy's smart enough to realize everybody has limitations. Some minor, people have minor limitations, some people have major ones. But, it all depends on how strong-willed you are, I guess, to overcome those limitations, basically, is what John Boy's trying to get her to, realize, right, in this scene.
Right.
He doesn't make one critical mistake. Right after this, he lets her run out. He shouldn't let her do that.
No.
He needs to grab her and force her in the moment. Don't let her run out and take her sweet time coming to the realization. Keep her there and force it on her.
Well, yeah, that's yeah. Well, it's just like I said, Resolute. It's getting her to experience real life in the moment as it's occurring, because all she was doing was hiding in self pity. She was in shadow. She didn't want to be a part of anything, and that's no life for anyone. I'm sorry, but I can't see people do that, because and I've seen it, and it's the worst possible feeling in the world, is just being completely shut away. It's terrible. It's just terrible. It really is.
Yeah, this is a bit strange because she does wander off shortly after this, right? John
Yeah.
Boy, instead of restraining her, he just lets her wander away for another minute or whatever it is.
And Orla Gregg says she was traumatized by an hour with his family. She needs a vacation from her vacation. I don't know if that's true. Come on.
Yeah.
They're not that bad. Oh, man. Hey, I need therapy because I spent an hour with the Waltons. Woo.
Please, just listen to me. Ruth, you told me this morning that you wanted your life back. Well, you've got it back. You've had it back all day long. Please, just don't let it slip away again. Please, just hold on to it. Please, just don't run away.
Oh, that's his weak point right there, just sitting there begging.
Oh, I know. It's beneath John, but he's doing the best he can.
All right. Of course I'll help you. You're all right.
And she's legitimately crying.
Yeah, he's going to get me tooed in about 20 years.
Yeah.
Let go. I'm right here. Let go.
Yeah, who knows? In 20 years, he'll probably run across her in the street or something and say, "Hey, you want to go out on a date? I know you."
Yeah, so they take her home. They're... Oh, wait, I can't. Now we're getting to our closing. I'm going to just play the epilogue since I can't read it.
Okay.
The doctor said Elizabeth had nothing more serious than a bump on the head and a bruised knee. Ruth returned to West Ham, but she didn't remain hidden away as she had before. After some training at an institute for the blind, she returned to Boatwright University, was graduated, and eventually became a social welfare worker for the state of Virginia.
No, that's it.
Great epilogue. Yeah, I love that she was able to better herself. Yeah, that's great. I like that.
And the rare time here, we actually get. I'm actually gonna play the good night thing because this was funny as hell.
Okay.
Mama?
Yes, Jim Bob?
Ben's snoring and he's keeping me awake.
Maybe he'll stop if you turn him over on his side.
Okay. Jim Bob, what do you think you're doing? You gone crazy or something?
Will you two pipe down, keeping everybody awake?
Ben, you better stop hitting me.
Well, you started it. What's going on over there?
There's a fight in the boys'
Oh,
room.
no.
You children behave yourselves before you wake your father.
You're gonna get it, Jim Bob. Leave me alone.
Oh, you just gotta love there, but I gotta pause it here because of we're supposed to get some good fighting here and stuff.
I know if Daddy wakes up, you're all going to sleep the hard way.
Oh, just
I'm gonna have to come over there. Ben's winning, Elizabeth.
It's a disgrace that no one gets to sleep around.
You children want a spanking?
Cut the fighting, Jim Bob.
Think I'd better go over there, Liv?
Somebody better do something.
And they're all getting their ass whooped.
Yeah, that was a
every
great
single
ending.
one of them, just for good measure.
Well, that was
Yeah,
totally
right.
not like the usual ending where everybody's happy and good night, good night, good night, right? This is like everybody's fighting everybody in this ending, which is great. It was really good.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, that's funny, Oiler Greg. They didn't mention her life as a roadie in the 70s? Okay. Hey, she could have been at Woodstock in 1969 with those glasses of hers. She could have kept those, Ruth could have been there. You never know. Hey, man, she's into the hippie movement. Yeah. Look at her glasses. Yeah.
All right. So, all right. What say you, Mikey? What's your grade?
Well, this is definitely, as I said at the very beginning, in the chat there, I said this was a great episode. It is. I watched it along, and Judy Norton gave such a great description of the entire episode, and I was watching along, and I definitely give it an A+. It's 5 out of 5 stars for me. It's probably one of the best episodes so far that I've seen of the Waltons. And like I said, we're only into season 3. There's like 6 more seasons to go. But this is one of the best earlier episodes by far. I loved it. I really did. And it made me cry. You know what's great about an episode? If you watch certain shows, right, there are certain episodes that can make you kind of, tear up a little bit, just kind of get a little emotional. And this episode definitely did that for me. So if that happens, I'm definitely saying it got the highest grade for me. Definitely.
All right, PvP. How about you?
Yeah, I would go pretty much with what Mikey said. I think it's an A+. It's just a great episode. The Mary Ellen's subplot was really good. Judy Norton was really good, and excuse me, in the performance. Yeah, I just like the story. John Boy trying to help this blind woman get back her life. Yeah, just a good, all round entertaining episode. Yeah, good story, well done. Well acted, well written. Yeah, I'll just go with an A+. I think it is one of the best episodes I've watched so far of the series. So yeah, it's a good episode, very good episode.
All righty, Germ. How about you?
Well, it was a pretty good episode. There's spots that could have been better. I'm surprised John Boy didn't make a move on the blind girl. He tends to misinterpret stuff like that. There could have been a little bit more with some of the other kids, but understand they needed to fit in some points on the main story. But I'd say B+.
That's a good grade from you, Resolute. I know you're not always impressed, and that's very admirable. Yeah, that's good, Resolute. Good grade.
Yeah.
All right. As for me, a fairly good episode. I wish they would not made her as much of a bitch in the beginning 40 minutes of the episode. Like,
Yeah.
they could have gone where she's resentful and mad that she's disabled without making her a bitch. But
Yeah.
It's a good Mary Ellen scene. I did not want to reach through the screen and fucking smack her. And in the episode that doesn't have Aaron is always a bonus right there. It has some great drama, but some great comedic relief in there too. I'm gonna give it an A.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, alrighty. Let's get before I reveal what the chat says here. Well, Greg says, we see that now. How he loses her in the woods. He's laughing. They didn't mention her life as a roadie in the 1970s.
Yeah, she could have gone to Woodstock.
Yeah, you have got to add a good night, gorilla, to the end.
Good night, gorilla.
And the pebble went everywhere. Definitely a Woodstock. Definitely.
Yes.
Woodstock. And I gave it a C because it lacked car chases and jumps. They were quite popular at the time this was made. I used Gorilla's harsh grading system. Automatic passport.
Good one, Euler Gray. Good one. Yeah.
All right. Now let's see what the chat has to say.
All right. And I voted.
All right, let's see. 40% gives it an A+ to an A-. 40% are just here to see the stupid shit I say.
Wow, there you go.
Wow. That's impressive. I was like 40% to 40. Wow. Okay. See, they love you, gorilla. Yeah, they can just keep what you're doing. Do what you're doing, man. Seriously.
Yeah. And welcome to Jim's Landscaping LLC #1 Commodore Productions. We just got done reviewing the episode there.
Yeah, we'll start in about 10 minutes, Jim. So I already sent you the link. So if you're waiting there, great. That's awesome. So, yeah. Everybody's invited there too. Just say it's a guerrilla raid and you guys can come on over and we'll talk about the shitstorm that's called the motionless picture.
The shit porn picture.
Yeah. Exactly. Hey, believe it or not, that movie did actually win some Oscars, for special effects and crap. So, I mean, it got that much at least.
Here, Jim said stupid stuff better than crazy stuff.
Yeah, right.
So, thank you to Jim's Landscaping LLC #1 Commodore Productions for coming. He does Star Trek fan film stuff and poppy shorts and occasional live streams. So definitely make sure to check him out there. And thank you to Oiler Greg for coming. Oiler Greg does some spoiler-free reviews on his channel. They're always a lot of fun to listen to. Make sure to check him out there. And thank you, Sci-Fi Sit-Dan, for coming. Now, Sci-Fi Sit-Dan does some crossover stuff with fan art there. And he also does the occasional live stream. So make sure to check him out there. And thank you, Eric Sonder, for coming. He just has a couple videos on his channel, mostly Comic-Con stuff and that. So make sure to check him out. And thank you, Taylor Swift, creator of the Disney, Star Wars, MCU, and Doctor Who.
Yeah,
All right,
that's
Mike,
the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yeah, but that's cool.
All right, Mike.
Yeah. So anyway, like I said, in a few minutes we'll start our review of Star Trek: The Motionless Picture, or what we call the shitstorm movie. But that's okay. I mean, it had some good special effects, and it was boring in most parts. I think both Resolute and I agreed we could cut it down to like an hour and a half, maybe an hour and 45 minutes. That would have been fine. But yeah, we can talk about that. It's open panel, open chat. You guys can come up and talk about all you want on it. It's totally fine. Also, don't forget tomorrow we're also doing at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 Central. We're doing our normal Sunday topic times. There's a lot of subjects on the table right now, a lot of things going on. Unfortunately, a lot of it's political, so we're not going to talk about political talk, but there is other things we can talk about. There's mergers. There's a thing going on, of course, with Deadpool and Wolverine because it's getting closer to when that's going to premiere. And there's a lot of flack going from some executives that have seen it already. So, yeah, that's all going on tomorrow. And then you guys know the rest of my schedule for the week. Plus, we are starting Red Dwarf on Friday morning. So, yeah, based on the poll. So, yeah, thank you for voting in that poll, too.
All righty. PvP, what you got going on?
Oh, not much. I guess maybe be on Rumbles from the lab tonight. Rumble from the lab if Pop is doing that one tonight. I have not heard anything yet about that. So other than that, my day is pretty much open. I mean, I got a lot of stuff I could do around the apartment here. I should probably do, but yeah, nothing too much. Well, I guess I should do some laundry tonight at some point too. Man, my old laundry curse. Got to keep the damn laundry going. I need to.
Well, you gotta have something to wear.
Yeah, I gotta wash. I am at the stage now where I do need to wash some stuff. So.
Yeah.
I gotta go take. I have to go take my laundry off the line here a little bit.
Well, there you go.
Well, just don't leave it out there to get rained on again. It sounds like you get a lot of rain there lately.
About 8 inches of rain in the last couple days.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
you don't want your clothes to blow off the line either.
Yeah, really.
They've been sitting out there for a week, so if they have a flat, the store we had, good.
So
yeah. Anyway, not much going on. Just doing more music playlists on my channel whenever I get around to it. But I haven't done anything this weekend yet.
Yeah, those are good. Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Mikey. Yeah, I haven't done anything this weekend yet because yesterday was kind of a crazy day because I had to go to the bank because I wanted to open some accounts there. And I was there like about an hour and 15 minutes by the time she finished, filling everything in and signing all the paperwork. And it's like, man, I thought it would take maybe half an hour, but that's one reason I couldn't do the Waltons yesterday because I got home so late. And then some jackass parked in my parking spot, and that was a pain in the ass, and that I had to figure that out. But it all worked out because I called the landlord and he said, "Oh, no worries, just park in my spot overnight. It'll be fine." Because they don't have a tow truck patrol here. I found out talking to him, he just basically calls the tow truck himself if somebody's in somebody's spot for too long. So it all worked out because I went out there this morning and the person
Sick
had
Dan.
moved her car. Well, the thing is, they're the person that parks right next to me, right? Like my spot is number 12. This person should have parked in number 11, but instead of parking in number 11 yesterday, they screwed up and parked in number 12, my spot, right? So I think it was just, an error, just a mistake. I don't think they intentionally did it, but anyway, the landlord put a notice on their car that they'd be towed if they did not, move to their own spot by a certain time. And I guess they got the message because they were, in their own spot this morning when I went and moved my car back to where I should be, right? So it all worked out,
And
but it kind of screwed up my day yesterday a bit.
right.
But yeah, nothing much
All right.
planned. I mean, I don't know. I might pop on the motionless picture for a while there, I guess, perhaps.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
I gotta go out and get some milk and stuff though. So
All right, Jerem, what do you got going on?
Well, we have Andromeda on Tuesdays, Roundtable on Thursday, and Saturday morning cartoons next Saturday. The poll should be up tomorrow for that.
Yeah, and hopefully some dumbass doesn't accidentally end your stream early.
Yeah.
That would be most helpful.
It wouldn't be beneficial. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. All right. As for me, there. Tonight, so if I'm back home in time, we'll be doing an episode of two episodes of RoboCop that will determine whether or not we want to keep going on that show. Tomorrow we're doing a special Cringe Stock Cinema Sunday there with RoboCop the reboot, just to see how bad they fucked it up. And then on Wednesday there will be ending season 5 and beginning season 6 of Justified. Then on next Thursday for Cringe Stock, it'll be Freddy Got Fingered.
Oh no!
oh boy.
Then
joy, Tom Green.
And next week's Waltons episode will be let's see, The Departure. Convinced that life has passed by, John leaves home for an adventure.
Wow.
Wow.
I was sensing a pattern there. First we had
Sounds like a prequel.
The book, then we had The Job, now we have The Departure. There's a theme there somewhere. I can't place it yet, but I'll figure it out somehow.
Yeah. So with that, everyone have a good night and remember to be a gorilla. Good night, Jerm. Good night, Mikey. Good night, Beauty.